Hello, people of the world and rebels. Welcome to Parliament Square in London, where an action is taking place by Extinction Rebellion, socially distanced action to ask the government to send a very powerful message to tell them there is no going back. After the coronavirus recovery, we need to think about our future and the climate crisis, the ever-ensuing climate crisis. I'm here with Indigo, who has designed the action. I'm just going to talk to her now about what's going on. Indigo?
Hello. Yeah, we're here in Parliament Square. And we're protesting at this sort of pivotal moment in time where we're at the fork in the road. We've stopped a lot of the way that we live, and we've got a chance to reflect on how we want to rebuild. And we want to build back better after this crisis. We want to build a new world, and the way that we think we can do that is through a citizens' assembly. So we're asking the government here to call for a citizens' assembly to rebuild the way that we live better.
Thank you so much, India. So the Citizens Assembly is basically, I'm just going to show you some pictures. If I can switch my camera around. There we go. Citizens Assembly is basically almost like a jury of people, randomly selected people from across the country who are taught by experts for months in the field and whose findings then will need to be put into law in a way to mitigate against the worst effects of the climate crisis. This is a socially distanced process, 3 meters apart. Every rebel is standing in silence in Parliament Square. The police are here. There's a heavy presence. I can just zoom in there. You can see. And you can see some of these signs that people are holding up. This one says, "Safeguard children or corporate greed, decide together." Soil or oil. So if you're just joining us, we are live in Parliament Square in London. We're going to be going live to over 12 different locations across the UK, which is a very scary prospect. We're trying a bit of an experiment, but hopefully it will work. So this is a day of aligned action, which basically means that rebels across the country in cities and towns are performing the same action, a silent, socially distanced protest outside government buildings, outside local council offices, to send a very strong message that governments have failed us around the world. They were not quick enough to react to the health crisis. They had months of warning in some cases and yet still didn't act quickly enough, which is why thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have suffered and perished because of the lack of action. Now, the climate crisis, we have had 30, 40 years of notice about, and still governments are not doing enough to mitigate against the worst effects of the climate crisis. Now we have an opportunity when we've been in lockdown, we have closed down businesses, we're not traveling, we're not flying. Carbon emissions this year are projected to have dropped nearly 8% due to from the previous year. That sounds good, but it ain't sustainable. We can't stay in lockdown forever. And essentially, we have to reduce our emissions by that same amount, 8% every year on year until 2030, if we have any chance of remaining below a 1.5 degree average global temperature rise, which the IPCC, which is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, have said that we need to keep below to actually stop the worst effects of the climate crisis and millions of people across the world perishing and dying because of its effects. India, how's it going? The police don't seem to be shutting us down yet, do they?
Well, our police liaison is talking to the police, and it does seem that they really do not want us to be here today. It's okay to be in a busy park sunbathing, but apparently, the banners have come out. They're really not so sure. But we are here, and everything is calm and everything is peaceful. I mean, I'm just really inspired by everyone's
signs. It's a beautiful image, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, so in a very few minutes, guys, we're going to be going over to Nottingham, I believe. India, you're going to be joining this action here whilst we go over to Nottingham?
Yeah, I'm going to go and take a place in the action, stood 5 meters apart, and and stand for the hour thinking about what's next. So over to Nottingham.
Thank you. We'll be passing to Nottingham very soon. Just going to show you the last few. You can see police here. They're basically trying to issue people with tickets for a contravention of the Coronavirus Health Act, even though people are allowed to sit in parks. Have you been to a park recently, Mr. Officer? Everyone is congregating, sitting next to each other in a much closer So apparently police are issuing people with fines here, even though in parks across London, people are congregating in larger numbers than this and sticking closer together, not socially distancing, not wearing masks. Yet the peaceful protesters here who are standing up for a future are being threatened with arrest and threatened with £100 fine. Maybe we should ask Dominic Cummings what he thinks. Anyway, we are going to come back here later. Indigo, you need to say anything? No? Okay, fine.
I want to see what's happening elsewhere in the country.
Yeah, so we're going to go over to Nottingham now. Thank you very much, and we will see you later.
Hi, we're in Nottingham. We're outside County Hall, and it's looking absolutely beautiful. We've got people really responsible, social distancing, with some incredible placards. No police are here yet. People are still arriving. They're coming from all over the city on their bikes. And I'm just going to do a pan around, turn the camera around, and we'll have a look at what we have. So caring for capitalism, consumerism or mindfulness, clean air or clogged lungs. So we're social distancing, we're standing in silence, in solidarity. It's really, really moving having so many people here in front of County Hall, Nottingham. It's very, very quiet here, really peaceful. And
I just wanted to ask Nottingham, is there any what's going on there? What's your key message for this action that's going on today?
So most of the placards have two options. There's no vaccine for climate change is one of them in front of us now. But the options are, we have a statement or a statement. So pretend it's not happening or follow the climate science. People or profit. Caring for all or business as usual. Breathe or murder. Past or future. People or profit. More cars or more bikes. Love, planet or steal hope. Fossil fuels or green emergency. Arms to hug or arms to kill. Zero future or zero carbon. Caring or capitalism.
Are there any police there in Nottingham? Because we've got like hundreds here swarmed around.
We've got no police, but the plan here is that we're going to move over to the road. So we're only going to spend a few minutes here. It's very, very quiet, very sheltered. We're away from the roads and not many people on the pavement or the roads nearby can see us. So we're going to head towards the traffic quite soon. And that should change things up a bit because we're really not seen here. I mean, it's really striking that it's in front of the county hall, but it's definitely a good thing that we're going to do two locations, two options. So at about 20 past, we're going to head towards the road. This is the road. it's getting more busy, and yeah, we'll head over at a safe distance. So we'll take our time walking over there, stay 3 meters apart. Everyone here today is 3 meters apart. So yeah, profit or life, people or profit, life or death, NHS or HS2, life or extinction. These are our options. Fossil fuel or green energy, more cars or more bikes. Competition or cooperation, business as usual or rebuild better, past or future.
Some beautiful, beautiful images going on there, Nottingham. Thank you so much. We're going to pass on to our next local town now, if that's okay, and we'll come back to you later.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. It's so good to have you. So we're just coming back to Parliament Square just for a minute, just so I can pass on to the next one, just to give you a little bit of an update. Sorry, I was muted. Live TV, everyone. Oh, now I've lost my camera. Okay, I'm back. So as you can see here, there's a heavy police presence. They're talking to every single person here, and the rebels are trying to explain why they're here, standing up for the planet. But the officers are threatening everyone with a £100 fine and arrest if they do not move on. And you can see here, tickets are being written up now, but rebels are refusing to move on. As you might have seen recently, parks across the UK have been full of people not socially distancing, and the police don't seem to be enforcing that. We'd like to ask whether the government is going to enforce its own ministers to socially distance and adhere to the lockdown measures. But here, as typical outside of Parliament in the UK, in London, there you can see Big Ben being reconstructed there to the tune of millions of pounds. Yet our climate is being left to the dogs, and the police are trying to find people who are trying to stand up for that. So we're going to very quickly now go to XR Newham for an update there. XR Newham, are you there?
We are. Yeah, so I'm James, and I'm from Extinction Rebellion Newham. We're here outside the Newham Council offices, basically to let them know that that actually we support a lot of the good work that they've actually done. Newham Council have declared a climate emergency, and they held a citizens' assembly earlier in the year. Obviously, things have taken a turn with the lockdown, and we don't know what's going on with that. But we are here basically to let them know that we do support them, but we need them to go further, really. We want them to resist kind of huge and unnecessary infrastructure development, such as London City Airport expansion, which is there. Lots of lovely grounded planes at the moment, and lots of clear skies here in Newham. We need Newham City Council to go further on tackling road pollution. Newham is one of the most air polluted boroughs in all of the UK. And as we know, that has been linked with increased deaths in the COVID crisis. And Newham is one of the worst hit areas for that as well, funnily enough. We want the council to publish the results of the Citizens' Assembly as soon as possible, and to act on it. And we are here basically to let them know that XR Newham is standing with Newham City Council, not against them, and that we support them to take the tough decisions that they need to take in order for us all to tackle the climate and ecological emergency. So let's go over and take a look and see some of the signs. We've got here dirty polluters and air unfit for breathing or public health and air we can breathe in. Climate change or green recovery. Air pollution or green solution. We've got the window toxic. Could you read your sign for me? Sorry. Your highly necessary PPE gloves are covering the words there. So we've got the window.
The window is now.
The window is now.
Toxic air or lung health. The window is now. No going back.
Lovely. No going back. Changes now. Cough and wheeze or live and breathe. And the crow says aviation is bad for business.
You can see behind us London City Airport that is currently, all planes are grounded. Usually there's an expansion plan for this airport, so they want to build it and they want to build it larger. And you know, we've been offered a window into this moment where we just can as Newham residents, experience what it's like to not have the airport functioning. And like that piece of land is prime for like any other sort of industry or like business or tourism than having, you know, having that airport there. We just, you know, I guess this is a moment when we can think about what kind of, like, how do we want to use land like that? Do we want a bigger airport, or do we want to like involve the local residents in building a better economy, better options for us? So it's nice that there are no planes in the sky today.
It's really nice.
The other thing about it is they're at ground zero in terms of the COVID crisis. Just over there is the Nightingale Hospital that wasn't used, strangely, but Newham's got the highest rate of death rate in the country, partly because it's the poorest area, one of the poorest areas of the country. And although you can see British Airways jets behind us, usually you wouldn't be able to hear me because there'd be a roar of incoming and outgoing private jets. So there's a horrible irony there that in the poorest area, one of the poorest areas of the country, this is the exit and entrance for rich people to get over to the City of London, and Docklands just over there. So you know, it's really a class issue as well. High levels of pollution here have also led to the high death rates.
Definitely. Thanks very much for that. We're going to move around to the other side of the building in a moment, so I think I'll pass back to Parliament Square, if that's all right.
Thank you so much, XR Newham. James, thank you so much for your report there. Just very quickly here, we have got rebels putting up very strong defences against the potential arrest and the tickets that are being given out by police. This girl said she doesn't know anyone who she's here with. She's not congregating. She's 3 meters apart. If anyone has been to a park recently in London or has known any of MP's antics that have been exposed recently, they'll know that this treatment is not consistent or fair. So we're going to very quickly now pass to XR Bristol. Bristol, are you there on College Green? Hello, XR Bristol.
Hello. Right now we're in the middle of, but we're all gathered in, I'm Michelle, and we're all gathered in College Green under the banner Another World is Possible. And if you can see, I'll try and move. So everyone around me, signs, and they're about, we gathered in number. It's about 40, 45 people, all standing at a social distance with some signs that say profit or planet, corporate wealth or community health. No going back. Communities, not corporations. The old deal, new deal, and confront solution or ignore the solution. Yeah, we don't have much police activity here. There are 2 that are just kind of making sure that things stay pretty contained. There aren't no one's handing out any. It's quite peaceful, and yeah, not much resistance. We got some people sitting in College Green just on looking. So we got a little bit of attention, and yeah. So that's what's going on here.
Thank you so much, Bristol. What's your key point that you want to get across?
Things have to change, and meaning large corporations have to make frame shift decisions. as to how to come out of COVID strong and sustain ourselves in the future long term.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, back in Parliament Square. I'm not sure where we're going to next. Mr. Director, can you tell me where we're going? Or Indigo, maybe you know. No?
Where are we going to next? I've heard that Worcester is ready. I know that Halifax is out there. I know there's plenty of people in Cornwall.
We're going to go to none of them because we're going to go to Bolton next. That's where
Bolton. Thank you so much, Mr. Director. Okay, so we just had an update from Bristol. Just if you're joining us, we're here as a mass combined action across the country where rebels are socially distancing to enable them to send a very strong message to the government that in the recovery from the coronavirus crisis, we have to also think about the climate crisis, which is going to affect our children, the most vulnerable people, and affect millions more than the coronavirus crisis. So handing over to XR Bolton now.
Hi everyone, so we're here in Bolton. You can probably hear our protest isn't quite as silent. It's pretty rowdy because we're having quite a few people walk past and cheering on, which is fantastic. So yeah, we're here today to ensure that we get that citizens' assembly. Bolton Council declared a climate emergency last August, and they've pretty much done nothing since. So that's kind of why we're here today. So I'm just going to switch shot and see if I can speak to some of the rebels that are here. 1 second. I love technology.
Top left of your screen.
I know, it's not big fingers, I think. It's not working somehow. Okay, hey everybody. Yeah, so these are all our lovely Bolton rebels. So yeah, we did have the police waiting for us this morning. We had 6 police and there was just 2 of us. We did let them know that they yeah, I don't know why they're here, but most bizarre. So this is our Captain Planet, who wants to say a few words about why he's here today.
Yeah, I'm here basically because I've got 2 young children and I'm scared to death about their future. I think every council down the country and governments around the world need to be taking much more action. It just petrifies me, the chaos that could happen in the future.
Thank you. We're just going to go to one more person because I'm aware we've got lots of other XRs who we need to speak to. So would you like to say why you're here today?
I'm here, this is my 15-year-old son, and I'm here because I really liked it for him to feel like he can have children, give me grandchildren. Right now he doesn't, because what will there be for them? You know, I'm here for the future, I'm here for the present, I'm here because it needs to stop.
Cool, thank you everybody. Extinction! Rebellion! Extinction! Rebellion! Right, we're passing back to London.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What an amazing atmosphere there is going on there. So back in Parliament Square, just to let you know, we're at a major turning point in human history. In the current crisis, it's become abundantly clear the systems we have in place are not designed to support the majority of people on our planet. The government has failed the public during COVID-19. They didn't listen to the inevitable warnings, and they have not listened to the warnings from the climate crisis for the last 30 years. Indigo, what's going on and where are we going to next?
Well, there's more and more police presence here in Westminster, and we're going to go over to Malvern now.
Thank you so much. So over to Malvern. Malvern, are you there? Can't hear you, Malvern.
Malvern is here, absolutely. Yeah, we are here, and this is a fabulous protest. It's all along the roadside here in Malvern, Worcestershire. So I'm going to walk along to give you a sense of everybody who's here and the amazing placards they have. We've just been down to the Conservative Party headquarters. We don't have many government targets here. So considering that the Conservative Party is in control of both our county council and our national government, we would like that party to please pay attention to the environmental crisis that we're in. We've had several police cars drive by and wave. No problems like in London, but as you can see, we are very, very socially distanced. Hello, you're on the world live. Yeah, so all the way along here, we've got people not profit, demand better. The fire station folks offered us cups of teas earlier. Yeah, so everything's going really well in Malvern. And I see right here, I've got one of our XR Malvern young people who I think would like to say a few words about why they are here and doing this. So just a second. Over to Cat Savage.
Hello. Today we are here to ask people to make a choice. In the face of this deadly virus, we have two options: extinction or rebellion, planet or profit, people or polluters. Today we are asking people to make a choice, and we are asking them to make the right one.
That's fabulous. Thanks, are you leading the way here in Malvern? So reminding people that it is a climate emergency and that we do need to act now. Yeah, bail out polluters or bail out the planet. Hey, that was my sign. Beautiful. Glad you like it. Care for people, not polluters. For a beautiful greener future, we've got some flags. Yeah, so lots and lots of people out here along the road in Malvern observing social distancing so that we can be above reproach and nobody can say that we're risking anybody. Change is now. Extinction Rebellion is here to tell you that. And it sure was nicer without cars. There's a lot of cars along this road. Fortunately, the majority of them have been tooting and giving us thumbs up, showing us how much they actually know this is important, yeah? With Extinction Rebellion, we know that the choice is life or extinction. Life or extinction. We do need more bike lanes, yeah? And if we don't choose nature, we are going to be left with nothing. Our children will be left with nothing. And so all along the roadside here, as I move up, we see the people of Malvern who have taken to the streets on this sunny day. Great future or climate breakdown. Absolutely. That's what it's all about here at Malvern. Yeah? Getting lots of waves from people. Yeah? Our friendly Malvern territory here. So you can see, probably difficult on this camera. You can see how many people there are up there. We've lined this whole road of the common. We reckon there's at least 40 or more people who have come out, which is not bad for a small town. So, and like I say, we've had absolutely no problem with the police. We are, oh, there's another honking wave for us. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. A better future is possible. Upon emergency, or business as usual. Those are the questions that are facing us now. Yeah, so we're moving on here up the road. Are we going to stay green? Are we going to listen to the science? Are we going to save our species? That's the choice that's facing us. And the people in Malvern are really happy to join in solidarity with people across the UK today. It's actually really exciting for us to be part of this national protest. It's the first time we tried to synchronize something like this. And I just realized I've lost my earphones. So you may have to talk to me.
I was going to say, it's hard to hear you, actually.
This is the problem, of course, with live streaming. Earphone back in. Am I still on? It looks like I might be.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay, new bike lanes, not new roads. Change is now. Let's decide together. Let's get those citizens' assemblies out so that the people can look at what the real issues are with the climate emergency. Oh, we've got a fancy sign here. Look at how that's set up. We've got COVID today, climate tomorrow, act now. And then can you show us the other side? Change is now. Decide together. Mass extinction or mass participation. All right, Malvern. Woo! Yeah, we got our creatives out in force here. So we're really excited. It's great to be part of this. And we send out our love to every XR person who is standing in solidarity to do this. Just going to see if I can give you a shot there down the road of everyone. And I'll come back to myself very briefly. You'll see I've got a special face mask on, by the way, because we have a deaf member of XR Malvern, and she made this face mask so that she can read my lips. That's part of the inclusivity and the love that we have in Extinction Rebellion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your report and loving, absolutely loving that custom-made face mask to be more inclusive.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we'll probably have time to come back to you later for another update. So thank you so much for your report. Just on that note about cycle lanes, in London, air pollution is a concern. There are over 9,400 excess deaths a year in London due to long-term exposure to air pollution. And last year, a new report confirmed that children travelling to and from school across London can be exposed to, on average, levels of nitrogen oxide 2.5 times the legal limit. And over a lifetime, that can be even higher than 3 times the safe limit for kids walking through busy main roads. So if you multiply that by the number of school journeys pupils will do, and it will result in an awful number of air pollution, which they're exposed to during their lifetime, which leads to direct death. So this is the problem why people cannot correlate the climate crisis and the health crisis, even though they are linked. The health crisis was very simple in that there was a virus that was causing illness and death. The climate crisis also causes death, but it's a lot more nuanced than that, i.e. people can't see that flying a plane or digging up and extracting fossil fuels and burning them is causing people to die, but it is causing people to die in multiple ways, through air pollution, through the temperature of the earth going up, through food scarcity, because the temperature of the earth is going up, because crops are failing, for example. The science is very clear on this, and it has been clear for over 30 years. The government have known about this, yet they are lying to us. We have a choice now. We can either come back from this lockdown period and build renewable green jobs that are sustainable for ours and our children's future, and a green economy based on green energy, or we can go back to business as usual, the normal, continue extracting fossil fuels, dirty oil and coal from the ground, burning it and making a very few people ridiculously quite filthy rich, and causing misery and harm to millions across the world. Oh, and it will also lead to our eventual demise. To me, the choice is quite clear. However, to a lot of people, it isn't clear, which is why Extinction Rebellion are back, and Extinction Rebellion are here in full force throughout the country today, in Parliament Square, in towns and cities across the country, as you've seen, standing in solidarity, socially distanced, and the police are trying to shut us down. It's good to see that in other places across the country they're not. You can see that people are holding their arms out over there to signify, no, he's been a frisk, perhaps being arrested. That policeman is definitely not socially distancing. So just some of the scenes here. It seems a total disproportionate response to a peaceful, socially distanced protest, especially when there's so many people in parks and ministers, won't mention names, flouting the lockdown rules and getting away with it. So, thanks for joining us. This is our day of solidarity and action across the country for XR. And we're saying change is now. It's your turn to decide. This is why we need a climate assembly, a citizens assembly on climate, to decide how we can put into power measures to mitigate the worst effects of the climate crisis. We're now going to go over to Totnes, I believe. Totnes, are you there? And can you tell us what's going on and what your key message is for today? Hello, Totnes.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, Totnes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Colin from Totnes XR, and we are outside Southam's District Council here in deepest, greenest Devon. And you can see there are people up and down the street who are here to protest about the local issues of climate emergency, climate and ecological emergency, which has to do with the council having declared a climate emergency, but not really following through on it. So I'm going to stop and talk to one or two people here, just to, I hope you can see some of the placards. I'll turn it around so you can, just a moment. There we go. How do we do that? Can't see in this strong sunshine at the moment. There we go. There we go. So, it's too slow, my phone. Try again. There you go. All right. So, I'm going to walk down here and talk to John, who is one of the protesters here. John, can you say why you're here?
Well, I'm really worried that the government is just going to slip back into where it was before, with very little lack of action on policies, lack of movement, delays in COP26, and I just think we need to get out here again and show that COVID is really important, but it's what, at the same time climate change isn't going away. Here we are entering our fourth week of sunshine now, with another 2 coming up. Erratic weather patterns. This is what we need to be also giving our attention to.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I'll try and catch a few other people. So just moving further down we have a light police presence here. Very light police presence, but they're nowhere to be seen. There's one over there, actually. We have 40 to 50 people who are lined up and down the street, and all here in beautiful Devon sunshine. I'm going to go over here to, let's see, Marcia. Yeah, could you say a few words going out live all over the world? Why are you here?
Because this is an amazing window of opportunity to build back better, a greener world. Well, there's money going from the government. They could put conditions on that, the big sustainable, and decided with the People's Assembly. They're all in together.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to come down a bit further, just get across the road. Most of the traffic seems to be very supportive, with lots of beats here in Totnes. And here we have another person holding a sign up. That's HSDC, which is our local district council. And although they declared a climate emergency, they are not really following through. Would you like to say a little bit more about that?
Yes, well, they actually do have not a bad climate emergency plan. To some extent, it's understandable it's in abeyance at the moment because of COVID. It does need improvement. We've sent an awful lot of comments to them, very good, sharp comments of ways to improve it. Putting solar into homes, or renewable energy into homes instead of gas is one of the crucial things. And we do know that that's one of the things that is missing from their plan, possibly because of the strength of lobbying from housing developers. We will keep friendly pressure on them, because there are some people in the council who are very supportive, and we really hope to see the transition in the council's approach, not only to their own premises, but more broadly across the district as time goes by.
Thank you, Bob. That's wonderful. Thank you. So just delicately trying to get out in between the traffic a bit more, and going to walk further down the street. Everybody socially distanced at a safe distance. There we go. And right down at the end, I've already got somebody, bird song or traffic noise, sustainable homes or developers' profits, zero carbon homes, yes. And right down here at the very end, we have somebody I can get a little bit closer to legally. So I'm just going to come in here and just long-term well-being or short-term profit. Say a little bit more about that.
Well, just that as we move on, hopefully, from the coronavirus or see how it all unfolds, that we actually can't go back to business as usual. And now is an incredible opportunity to make choices for well-being over profit. And we want to send this message to our local government. We want to send this message to our national government. We want to send this message.
Hey, guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt. We'll come back to you. We have to go to Brighton very quickly.
Not go back to business as usual.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. That's was from Totnes there. Thank you.
Sorry, I just got an urgent call to go over to Brighton, so I think we're going over to Brighton now. Brighton, are you there?
Hello, yes. It's unbelievably sunny here in Brighton, and unfortunately a little windy, as you might hear on my microphone. But we are down here on the beach, right behind Hove Lawns, if you know the area. And we are doing our protest in front of the beautiful individual actions, in front of these beautiful little beach huts, as you can see. We've come out into the sun. There are a lot of people around because it is so hot, but we are trying to be as safe as possible by wearing masks and gloves and keeping our 3 meters distancing.
Andy,
it's been amazing to see.
Sorry, guys, I just pause you there because you've lost your video in Brighton. We're back in London at the moment, but there's a problem, I think, with your video. We can't see Brighton. Lovely talking about it. Be great to see it.
Okay. I'm not sure why that's happening. Let me know if it comes back, and I'll keep talking for a second.
Okay. So can we, while you're sorting it out, can we?
How are you doing it, John? It's a nightmare without sunglasses.
While you're sorting it out, guys, I'm gonna let's just actually go to Birmingham, please. Yana, if you're in Birmingham, can we just go there? You're live.
Hello, welcome to Birmingham, where we are doing a silent protest for a green recovery after coronavirus, really. So we are standing on Victoria Square, which is outside the Birmingham City Council. It's currently an empty building because people are working from home, rightfully so, and we understand that. And it's also for us, it's been quite a while since we've seen each other because we've been staying in as well, and we haven't been doing any actions outside, but we felt it's now safe to do so because it's necessary, really. It's been about a year since, through our actions, partially or maybe wholly, Birmingham City Council has declared a climate emergency. And that's great, but have they really done anything since? No. Maybe they set up a little task force. Have they done anything practical, substantial? Not at all. We've been keeping on the protest, but yeah, nothing has really happened. So we feel like it's necessary to come back here and ask them once more, what are you going to do about this huge crisis, this threat to humanity, to all of life on Earth? What are you going to do? We think we need a citizens' assembly to decide how to tackle this crisis. And that's what we're asking for today, a citizens' assembly to decide how to recover from the coronavirus in such a way that we are protected against the climate and ecological emergency. So maybe we should ask some people how they're feeling about the protest today. So we've got Farrell here, who's one of our spokespeople. Farrell, how are you feeling? Do you feel safe right now?
Yeah, I feel really safe. I think because we're all standing 3 meters apart from each other, and we're all wearing masks. And yeah, as in, no one is like really cross paths, and they're really careful. And it is completely safe what we're doing at the minute. And it feels good to be actually standing outside and sort of protesting against the government's inaction on the crisis.
Yeah, that's excellent. I think we we are taking best care we can here to make it as low a risk to everyone. I personally feel like there's still a risk, but I'm happy to take that for something that's so important to me. Why do you think that now that we've got another crisis on our hands, the corona crisis, and there's a lot of other things going wrong in the world, do you think it's still appropriate to be protesting about the climate crisis right now?
I think the COVID crisis is quite important, we saw that the government did not act on the signs as quickly enough, and it waited for the last minute. And I feel like the government is doing the same thing for the climate emergency as well. It is a crisis, and it is coming for us. It is a long-term crisis as well, and it's the next crisis that is in line for us. And we need to do something about this now. And we need to raise more awareness about this. The government needs to act now rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, I of course completely agree with you. That's why I'm here today. We can't really see these crises as separate things, right? They're all a threat that needs to be dealt with. So thanks very much. And thanks everyone in Extinction Rebellion Birmingham for being here today. It's great to see you all, even though we can't get very close. And that's it from Birmingham. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Birmingham. That was a great report. As you can see here in London, one of our first people has just been arrested here. They are actually arresting people for being on the green and socially distancing. You can still hear the claps in Birmingham, loving it. Very good. As you can see here, yep, Brighton, yeah, okay. As you can see here in London, in Parliament Square, a lot of the square has been cleared now by police. They are issuing fines to people. They are arresting people. This person has just been arrested by police for standing on Parliament Square.
At 8 p.m. on a Thursday.
Socially distancing, and there's a very pertinent message there that this guy just held up that said negligent government or citizens assembly. That is what we're asking for, a citizens assembly, and it's your choice now. It is now time that we choose. Indigo, where the hell are we going now?
We're going to go over to Worcester. Hello, rebels in Worcester.
Hey Worcester, are you there? Hey Worcester, speak to us.
Hi everybody.
Hi Worcester.
I'm Lisa, I'm the coordinator for Worcester, but we've got groups here from all different Worcestershire exile groups. We have Wyre Forest, we have Bromsgrove, and we have Worcester. And we've all come today to Worcestershire County Council County Hall, which as you can see is in a very leafy, beautiful park. But sadly, like many other council offices today, it's pretty deserted, apart from one lovely security guard who's been out and inquired what we're doing here today. He was ever so nice and was quite happy for us to have chalked our hexagons on the paving here, and we promised that we would behave ourselves. So there we go, we're being very quiet because this is a silent protest. So we've got various people here who are protesting because they're very unhappy about our county council having not yet declared a climate emergency. Now, many of our district councils have done, for example, in Bromsgrove and in Worcester itself. But unfortunately, the political persuasion of the county council here means they're rather resistant to making the necessary decisions to help improve our environment. Many of us took part in a protest 2 weeks ago for reclaiming the streets, and I'd like to go over to some of the people who took part in that protest. We have a family over here who are some of our rebels. I'll just turn the camera around so you can see them. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone.
And why did you take part in the protest today?
Well, today is just really to highlight the inaction from the county council on climate emergency, but anything cycling and clearly not seizing the opportunity to act now, especially when it comes to encourage the people to cycle in Worcester, which is a great city and has a lot to offer in terms of cycling network.
It is a beautiful.
Here you are, County Council, just act now.
Yes, please, County Council, do something about it, make the right decisions. And you took part in the actual cycling protest around the city centre, didn't you, 2 weeks ago? How did that go?
It went well. I think
the county council still aren't acting, I think we're going to have to do more than one protest because they don't want to act. Actually, I don't think they don't want to do anything. They're too lazy. They're worried about change.
They're worried about change.
They definitely are. Thank you so much, guys, and enjoy the rest of your protest today. And I love your homemade placards. Look at these. They're wonderful. Pollution or solution, fossil past or clean future, deforestation or animal haven, nitrogen dioxide or an ice bike ride. I love it. Over here, we've got some of our Bromsgrove rebels, and they've made this beautiful banner, especially for today's protest. And I'd like to go over to speak to Chris, actually, who's very, very involved in cycle campaigning. And he actually cycled all the way from Worcester, Bromsgrove to Worcester.
That's right.
And would you like to tell us about that and why you did that?
I wanted to make sure that the message got home to all those fellow travellers on the cycle route, the Sustrans long distance cycle route from Bromsgrove. And I also wanted to get the message to all those other people that we saw on the road, quite a lot of them actually, doing their exercise.
I think it was a great protest. We got a lot of media coverage. We were actually on local radio, BBC Hereford and Worcester, and Chris was interviewed live on air. And we also managed to get ourselves into the local paper, which we will be today as well. So I'd like to just mention that Worcester is the capital of the county of Worcestershire, obviously, and we have a really good Extinction Rebellion presence in the county. It's a massive county and it's terribly underfunded and under-resourced. The county council has been taking part in a series of cutbacks for a very, very long time now, at least 10 years. As an ex-county council employee, I left my job in the library service to go and do something else because I was so worried that my library was going to close. But they just don't have the resources, well, they claim they don't, to build the cycle paths and to take the measures that they need to take to help alleviate the problems of climate change. Now, Worcester in particular is particularly bad, and I would like to go over to our friend Sam, who might just speak to us briefly. Hi, Sam. Would you like to tell us a bit more about the problems in Worcester?
Yeah, well, I think a few people have mentioned already that unfortunately we don't have county councillors who want to prioritise a healthy city for us. We don't have county councillors who are happy to change their way of thinking and really, really make a difference to us having a healthy city on a more national scale. I think we are really here today as well because we must have a National Assembly that informs the government and so they can make the right choices for a healthier planet. It works really well in other countries such as Canada and Belgium, and it really is the only way that we're going to be able to get a grip of the ecological and climate emergency and turn this around.
Thanks very much, Sam. Okay, I think I'm handing back to Westminster or Trafalgar Square. So is it over to you now, guys?
Yes, thank you so much. What an amazing report. As you can see here, though, police are arresting people, putting them into the van. And if I just turn around to Parliament Square, you can see that the police have removed most of the rebels, actually, in fact, all of the rebels from Parliament Square. We're not quite sure under what power these people are being arrested. Right, sorry, India, do you want to just introduce our next?
Hello, we're going to Muswell Hill now in North London.
Muswell Hill, are you there?
Hi, yeah, we're live here in Muswell Hill. Not in Muswell Hill, we're in Wood Green. Hi. There's Highgate. Haringey is like the big group, and then we've got smaller groups here, Muswell Hill and Highgate XR. So I'm going to just walk around and show you the signs. So there we are. That one says future of fossil fuel. It's very windy, so sorry about the sound. NHS, not HS2. Can I see your sign? Planet or profit? Old world or better world? Fantastic. Clean air or new incinerator? Yeah, that's one of our problems that we have here in Haringey, there's a lady on the roundabout as well. In the Haringey Council declared a climate emergency in 2030. And now they still they declared a climate emergency last year in March. It's still not done very much. We want some cycle paths. We would like them to stop the incinerator. Here it says Corona today and climate crisis tomorrow, or rethinking now for a sustainable future. You've got roller skates on. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. The hills are great, right? Action plan or climate crisis. Fantastic. What do you mean by action plan? What do you want? Fantastic. And Haringey has got some kind of, they've made some plans, but what's wrong with them? Totally. But they declared really fast, right? Yeah. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. So I'm on a solo protest because governments must tell the truth about climate emergency. Hashtag no going back. Thank you so much. Okay, this one is, I'm on a solo protest because the earth is warming too fast. No going back. I am on a solo protest because my children and grandchildren deserve a better world. No going back. So here we are going past the council, Haringey Council. They really need to clean up their job. And this one says protect Lee Valley or lose waterfalls and NHS or HS2. Do you want to say a little bit about the Lee Valley?
The Lee Valley is right outside Haringey, and one of the places where there is a very large population of waterfalls. And if HS2 goes forth and the Lee Valley storage waterfalls are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Thank you so much. Planet or profit? Loving the gloves. Collaborate or fail? Do you want to say a tiny bit about that?
Well, yeah, in the vein of community, creating communities that will serve. Sorry, I'm not British, so I'm just struggling with the language.
That's okay.
Yeah, fast, sorry.
Pass, that's cool. I'm going to go down the line quickly because we're running out of time. Polluted air or healthy kids, decide together. Planet or profit, decide together. I'm on a solo protest because the time is now, no going back. Life or death. Change is now. Decide together. Fantastic. So this is us from Muswell Hill, Highgate and Haringey. Thank you so much. Everybody is protesting solo. We are not. We are all social distancing properly. You can see that. All right, back to you, London.
Thanks so much, Muswell Hill, Haringey, Wood Green. Love you all. Thank you for that amazing report. It's so nice to see people coming together in solidarity.
Lots of love to everyone getting arrested.
Everyone has pretty much been cleared now from Parliament. So we're going to go for a quick update now from Halifax, I believe. Halifax, are you there? Hello, Halifax?
Yeah, hello, can you hear us?
Hi, yes, we can hear you loud and clear. What's your report? We have to be quite brief, I'm afraid, because we're running out of time, but let us know what's going on.
We're here in Halifax at the Calderdale Council building. Got a great turnout here. We'll just go around some of the signs in a second. Just show you the nice line of rebels we got. Have people walking past and seeing the signs all day or all morning. What have we got here? Doctors, not martyrs. Do you mind telling us which local groups we have here from Calderdale today? Great. So you got a lot of places here, all from across West Yorkshire. What else? We got a lovely sign here. Billionaire bailouts, living wages, nanoplastics or living oceans, business railways, trees and bats, biofuel pellets or living forests, fossil fuel or living world. And here the classic, always the classic people or profit. You had a gentleman come and talk to you earlier. What was he saying there earlier?
He said something about it should be people and profit.
People and
choice of priority.
Okay. So we got a whole range of amazing signs today. Now going back to poisoned air, polluted rivers and seas, destroying wildlife, habitat, burning forests and flooding. Amazing outfit today as well. People over profit. Here at Calderdale Council, people or profit. Changes now, decide together. Cycle lanes or high-speed trains. Rebellion or extinction. It's a great one there. This is one of my favourites as well. Growth, not growth. How many local groups have we got here again? Sorry. We had a little review. We've got quite a few coming from across Calderdale.
Yeah.
So we got there: repair, don't repeat, same old spiel or Green New Deal. Act now or we're fucked. Very poignant there. Key workers or corporate shirkers. And last but not least, nature or annihilation. So this is the Calderdale crew down in Halifax. It's been a great day. Lots of engagement with people actually. Yeah. I think we'll pass over back to you guys in Parliament Square now. We're almost at time. Thanks so much to everybody for coming out today. Back over to you guys in London.
Hi, thank you so much for that. As you can see in London, the square has been cleared. So of course it's okay for some MPs to drive 240 miles to get their eyes tested. But a few people on a green protesting for the biggest crisis that is facing humanity, the police have arrested them and moved them on. Why are we doing this? In 2020, the World Economic Forum listed climate change as the biggest challenge facing humanity. The science is clear. The scientific community is unanimous. We need to act now to prevent a bigger disaster than the COVID-19 disaster. We have one more local group to go to. We're going to Nick, I think now outside in Cornwall, outside Steve Double's house, I believe, who's the MP. So Nick, are you there? Can't hear you, Nick. You're muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, hi everybody. So
you're muted again, Nick. Zoom issue.
I'm actually outside Steve Double's office. He's our local MP for London and Newham, and I'm here with a couple of other rebels. He's just moved his office in the last week. So there we go. They're just coming into the sun. If you can see us there.
We're the Three Musketeers.
So I hope everybody's well and having a good protest, and we will do this care very deeply about the environment and our future and our children's future, and we don't want to be going back to as things were before. So I know we haven't got much time, so I will hand back to London. So lots of love to you all. Take care. We are all crew.
Nick, thank you so much for that very eloquent and concise update. We appreciate that. We're drawing to a close now. Thank you for joining us. I've been Kristen. This is Indigo. Indigo, what have you got? Any final thoughts from Parliament Square?
Just that we keep protesting in this time. Like, we are at a fork in the roads, and we need to make our conversation the only conversation right now. So yeah, lots of love for everyone who came out today. It's quite scary, but it's really important. So see you again.
The government will not shut us up, even though they've arrested us and tried to move us on and stopped the message about the climate crisis from happening. We will say anything about
You're a planeteer too by going to
rebellion.earth for the UK to find out more about Extinction Rebellion, or rebellion.global for the rest of the world. We're now active in 68 different countries worldwide. This is the turning point in our history. It's imperative we act now. Peace, love, respect, and just a little bit of rage. Thanks, guys. I'll leave you with this picture of the empty Parliament Square.
And I'll meet you there with the signs, and then you can go.
Then we'll all go and have a beer.
Can't have beer.
I know.
Those days are gone.